hoses. Welcome to another one of the critically acclaimed, award-winning Wrestling Revolution reviews of Smackdown. Brought to you by your host, the Black and White Delight, Grumpy Cheeto. First off, I'd like to thank my new subscriber, which is Bizarre1000. Second off, I'd like to point out the Grumpy Tron 5000. I've upgraded a little bit since last time you saw it. Next off, I would like to plug WrestlingRevolution.com, the Epic Center for your wrestling needs. And, well, I know last week I did a lot of plugging of the site because SmackDown sucked. Well, this week is much different. This week, SmackDown was a heck of a lot better. And, well, I got a couple complaints about I plugged it a little too hard. So, I'm just going to leave it at go to WrestlingRevolution.com, sign up and register, and if you don't, this is what's going to happen.
Wow, the stinger!
Timmy, I'm from the Dream Come True Fantasy Foundation. You ready to wrestle?
You bet! Mom! Dad, it's really him! Hold on! Now I'm ready.
It looks so real.
Don't count on Sprite to do anything but quench your thirst.
Sprite is an official sponsor of Grumpy Cheeto's SmackDown reviews. Next up, I'd like to let everybody know that Bobby Black is going to be on This Week in Wrestling tomorrow morning with CJ Styles. It'll be posted on YouTube either tomorrow afternoon or Sunday morning. I don't know when, but keep an eye out for it. I'll probably make this a video response to that show. So if you're watching this, by the time it's posted, you'll see that this video is a video response to that. Or I'll put a link in the description box, either one. Alright, let's jump into SmackDown.
Get ready for the Smackdown! Get ready for the Smackdown! How you gonna react when you're put on your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the Smackdown!
This week's SmackDown is in my backyard of Kansas City, Missouri. We kick it off with Michael Cole's coal mine being set up, and, you know, the ring announcer announces Michael Cole is the voice of the WWE, and he comes down to the ringside, and he gets in his little coal mine protective shielding, and it's, I don't know, they're running a little far with this gimmick, I think. And Michael Cole does not need to be on SmackDown, I'm sorry. So we kick off the night with Edge in the first match, and he's taking on Brutus Clay in a non-title match. I gave this match 3 out of 5 with Black Rangers, only because Brutus Clay did actually some really good work as a big guy. I mean, it was a slower match, but Edge knows how to work with that, because Edge has faced guys like The Undertaker, he's faced guys like, Umaga. He's worked with pretty big guys who weren't as fast. So, Edge made it look very believable, because he took a lot of bumps from Brutus Clay. Anyway, the only real huge notable match is just that the Brutus Clay had a nice T-bone suplex early on in the match. I was actually really impressed. Brutus Clay impressed me in this match. In the end, Eddie Munster and ADR came out and got involved, but it backfired, and Christian came out and beat the crap out of ADR. After the match was over, Christian and ADR brawl on the outside, and then, you know, Teddy Long comes out and he says that there's going to be a steel cage main event. ADR versus Christian. Not a bad match, I don't think, for a main event. Anyway, we go to the second match of the night, which is Kofi Kingston versus Mayonnaise Sheamus. Okay, not the mayonnaise thing, but Sheamus. So it's a champion versus champion match. Sheamus, U.S. champion, Kofi, the Intercontinental champion. I give this match 3 out of 5. White Rangers because of Sheamus. It was kind of a basic match, but these two really worked well together. These two were slated to have a feud last year, and I was kind of excited for that, so it was good to see these two face off against one another, but, I don't know, it's just, they're two young, talented guys who can go at it in the ring. Obviously, Sheamus is a little more powerhouse, and obviously Kofi's a little more high flyer, but these two worked really well together for the different styles. In the end, Sheamus hit a bro kick when Kofi came off the top rope for for some kind of crossbody or something, and Sheamus pinned him and got the win. So the The curse of the King of the Ring, whatever that is finally over. Alright, next we go to a backstage promo with Kane and the Big Show. And they basically, Big Show does a little spiel in the beginning. He says that we're going to, win the tag titles today and stuff like that. And, they're going to dominate the tag division. Kane just goes to choke him. And then Big Show does the same thing back to him. And then Big Show breaks Kane's hold, and then Kane breaks Big Show's choke. And then Kane just looks at Big Show and says, "You complete me." And Big Show says, "Dude, you are screwed up." And then Kane walks away, or Big Show walks away. It was actually a really funny segment. I thought it was a pretty good backstage promo that actually, it was entertaining, I actually thought. Next we go to the third match of the night, which is Cody Rhodes versus Trent Beretta, which was an epic squash match. I gave it 1 out of 5 Alpha 5s. Really was not impressed, really at all. I mean, honestly and truly, I was not impressed at all. Cody used his face mask, and he was headbutting Trent Beretta a couple times, and he didn't even use the crossroads. He just pinned him after a couple of headbutts with the face mask. That was probably the disappointment of the night. Because honestly, I would much rather have Cody Rhodes faced another Raw superstar who was on, and it would have been a little bit more, it would have made a little more sense, in my opinion. Next we go to the fourth match of the night, which is Layla versus Kelly Kelly. And believe it or not, I gave this a 3 out of 5 Pink Rangers. It's actually not that bad of a match. Kelly Kelly came out of the gate looking really strong, really aggressive, and she actually sold most of the moves in this match pretty well. I'm not saying Kelly Kelly's a great wrestler by any means, but maybe there's hope. There was one part where Kelly Kelly was going to do like a springboard, not a springboard, it's like a cartwheel or backflip elbow or something like that from the adjacent corner, and Layla got her feet up and kicked Kelly Kelly right in the back of the head as she was coming. It was pretty actually nasty. In the end, Kelly Kelly was going to the top rope for something, who knows. Michelle McCool distracted Kelly Kelly. Layla got up, pulled her off the ropes. She landed on her back. Layla got the pin. It was actually a fairly decent match. Not incredible, but worth watching, I would say. Match 5 of the night. And guess what? We're only halfway through the night. Fifth match. A little bit over halfway. I mean, I kid you not. Match 5 of the night is Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel versus The Big Show and Kane for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I give this match a 3 out of 5 Red Rangers. It actually was not a bad match. For a tag match with, 2 light heavyweight type characters versus 2 super heavyweight characters, wasn't bad whatsoever. Kane dominated the opening moments of the match. I mean, Kane just destroyed Gabriel and Slater. I mean, it was just horrendous. I mean, Kane was hitting big boots and side slams, and it's just, nasty. Finally, Kane missed a big boot in the corner, and Slater and Gabriel took advantage by working on Kane's legs. Eventually, Kane made the tag into the Big Show. The Big Show, of course, came in and dominated. I think Big Show hit a choke slam on Slater. Ref went for the 3, and Gabriel pulled the ref out of the ring. So the core won by DQ. I gave it a 3 out of 5 Red Rangers because the match was actually decent. The ending sucked. It would have gotten a 4 if it wasn't for the ending. But the match was not bad. I mean, honestly, Gabriel and Slater worked pretty well with Show and Kane, and Show and Kane know how to work. So, afterward, Barrett hits a wasteland on Big Show, and then they basically gangbang Kane, and just beat the crap out of Kane and the Big Show. So, core looking strong tonight. I'm actually rather impressed, and actually care about the core now. Anyway, next we have a backstage promo where ADR says that he's not like an animal in a cage. Basically, he says he doesn't want to be in a cage match. Ooh. Next we go to the 6th match of the night, which is Jack Swagger versus the Masterpiece, Chris Masters. I gave this match 3 out of 5 Yellow Rangers. Only because it was not a squash match, and Masters and Jack again did a great job working together. Tonight was a very good night of SmackDown. Had loads of wrestling, couple promos that kind of put over some of the stories that are going on, but nothing incredibly huge. They let the matches kind of do the storytelling, honestly. I think that's how that went. Swagger started off by working on Chris Masters' shoulder until Masters hit a nice Samoan drop. Masters then went for a master lock, but then was reversed by Swagger, into an ankle lock, but then Master reversed that. So then, towards the end, Jack Swagger started working on Swagger started working on Master's ankle on the turnbuckle post. He just started banging up against her. Then he got in the ring, slapped him in the ankle lock, and got the tap out. It wasn't an incredibly long match. It was just a well-worked match, in my opinion. So I give that 3 out of 5. Yellow Rangers. Next, we go to the 7th match of the night, and we're not at the main event, which is SmackDown's face, Rey Mysterio, versus Ted DiBiase, Raw Superstar. I gave this match 2 out of 5 Blue Rangers. I'm running out of Rangers here. It was a good match, well worked, got a couple minutes. As I, it wasn't. These guys, the matches tonight were except for the Cody Rhodes one, most of them were well worked. They weren't long matches, but they weren't short either. The only one that was short was Cody Rhodes' match, and stupid. Ted DiBiase hit a midair dropkick on Rey Mysterio, which was really nice. These guys went back and forth really well. They worked together really well. In the end, Rey hit a 619 and then a splash for the 3 on on Ted DiBiase. I kind of was hoping that Cody Rhodes would have faced Ted DiBiase today, just because, I think it would have kind of been a storytelling for Cody Rhodes to fight Ted DiBiase, former Legacy members, and it kind of shows the progression of their characters side by side. Like, Ted DiBiase really hasn't gone anywhere on Raw. However, Cody Rhodes is going to WrestleMania to face Rey Mysterio. So obviously Cody Rhodes would go over in this match, but it would have some good storytelling to it for Ted DiBiase to face Cody Rhodes tonight. And then maybe have Rey face Trent Beretta. That'd be a great match, I think. Anyway, so that was a pretty good match. I gave it 2 out of 5 Blue Rangers. 8th match of the night, which is finally, well, not really finally, because I was not bored by any means, was the 8th match of the night, which is the main event by Christian and ADR, Steel Cage. I gave this match 3 out of 5 Green Rangers. This was actually a pretty well-worked match by two people, especially ADR never being in a cage. I thought this match was pretty well done. There was 1 or 2 points where I was like, where ADR was kind of moving a little too slow to get up the cage, and I'm like, okay, you're kind of making it look like you're waiting for Christian to get up to get you. So, there was, but the other notes of the match was that ADR tried to get out early, but then, but Christian stopped him. Then ADR hit Christian with a Super Samoan drop off the top rope, like on the cage, and he fell back. Oh, it was actually a pretty good move. ADR then later on hit a step-up Enziguri. Christian was standing on the top rope. He was going to do a diving move. ADR jumped on the top rope. I kid you not, the top rope, and hit an Enziguri on Christian. Christian was standing on the top rope. ADR jumped up, put his foot on the top rope, and kicked Christian in the head. Shelton always used to jump midair, or just free jump all the way up to the top rope. It was better than that because he jumped up, he put his foot on the rope. He didn't have any, he didn't put both of them. He put one of them, and then he kicked Christian. So, great athleticism and great just work by these two guys. Towards the end, they were both fighting at the top of the cage, and then they're both kind of fighting to get down the cage. They're both trying to get down the cage. And then Christian falls before ADR does, so Christian wins the match. Afterward, he starts beating up Christian, ADR, and Eddie Munster there, and they're beating up on Christian. Edge comes out in ADR's car, or he gets in his car, starts honking the horn, and then he says, oh, what would happen if I, use my friend, which he pulls out a steel chair. He's like, oh, I have my friend on it. Then Brutus Clay comes out, plasters Edge, and then they do a concerto on Edge's arm. Yeah. So, and then the show closes out with Edge on the ground, cradling his arm, and that was SmackDown. It was a great night of wrestling. I kid you not. I was really impressed with tonight. For how many matches were on this card, there was some good matches. I mean, I'm not saying any more spectacular. None of them were 4s. However, I am okay with a completely, average wrestling night that tells a story. There was a lot of storytelling tonight in matches. And I just think that was the way to go. Yeah, match quality was all about average. There was a little bit lower than average. But there was just a lot of storytelling in these matches. The night as a whole, I gave a 4 out of 5 Blue Ranger. As I said, I mean, all the matches were pretty average, nothing incredibly stellar, but I think the storytelling of the night says it all. Last week's SmackDown was piss poor, but this week's was really good. I am totally impressed. WWE must be watching my reviews because they did exactly the opposite of what they did last week. They did storytelling in matches. Anyway, I guess that wraps it up for my SmackDown review. Go to WrestlingRevolution.com. Check out This Week in Wrestling on ADTV's channel. I'll put a link in the description box for Bobby Black being on there with CJ Styles of the adult demographic. And let me know what you think of the Grumpy Tron 5000. Pull the work down for you guys. I like it. Anyway, I am Grumpy Cheeto and